From today on, we'll take care of my sister and my niece. We'll provide for their food, clothing, shelter, and everything else. Huh? What is he talking about? I mean, for the past month, my sister-in-law hasn't paid a penny for the house. We've been actually feeding her. Wait a minute, you didn't say we'd live with them all the time. Amy and her husband are divorced, so we have to help her and my niece. We're going to build a new house and start a new life as a family of 5. I didn't know what he meant anymore. Words came out of my mouth automatically. Okay, then I'm divorcing you. My name is Jane, a 32-year-old housewife. I have been married for 7 years to my husband, Adam, and we live together with our 5-year-old daughter, Sarah. I thought we were living happily as a family, but it seems I was wrong. It seems that what was most important to my husband was not me or my daughter, but his sister. It happened one evening. I thought it was my husband, so I went to the front door. And there I found my sister-in-law, Amy, and my niece, Rita, for some reason. I'm home. Welcome home. Why are you here, Amy? I brought them here. Hi, Jane. It's been a while. Oh, hi. I quickly grabbed my husband and questioned him in a whisper. Ouch! What? I'm asking you, why did you bring them here? Oh, I heard Amy has some kind of trouble with her husband. I felt sorry for her, so I invited them to my house. No, that's crazy. What? What? Don't bring them here without asking me. What? Why not? I'm telling you to talk to me first. You're not alone in this house. Sarah is here too. You want me to abandon my sister? You're so mean. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like they're going to be here forever. With that, he went into the living room. Of course I wouldn't allow them to stay forever. I've learned since we've been married that he's excessively attached to his sister. Even when we were dating, he would talk about his sister, saying she was his pride and joy. But I never had a chance to see the kind of doting affection that I see today. Because of this, I simply thought he was a caring person who loved his sister and family. However, soon after we got married, my sister-in-law started coming to our house a lot. She started to get in the way of our newlywed life, eating dinners with us, and going shopping with my husband as a matter of course. My husband didn't tell her anything at that time, but just said, "It's so much fun." But then, my sister-in-law got married and stopped coming to our house before I ran out of patience, so I was glad. But now, for the first time in a few years, I'm afraid we're going to have to go through the same troublesome days again. I went back to the living room with a sigh. My sister-in-law was already lying on the sofa watching TV. How audacious of her to act like she owns the place. But my husband seems to spoil her even more. Amy, you want some coffee? Yes, please. Rita, I'll get you orange juice. Yay! Cool! There's pudding in the fridge.
I love pudding.
Hey, I bought those for Sarah, me, and you. Don't be stingy. We should treat the guests generously, right? You should at least be able to care for others. Huh? Are you saying that I'm stingy? My daughter was sad that her pudding was gone too. Sarah, let's go to a restaurant. You can eat whatever sweets you like there.
Really? Yay!
I felt sorry for my daughter, and I also wanted to calm down. My daughter is eating a parfait at the restaurant with a twinkle in her eyes. I was sipping my coffee and thinking that I had to get rid of my sister-in-law somehow. Oh, there you are. What? To my surprise, my husband came to the restaurant. You should have at least prepared food for us. Well, I left your food on the table. You should have prepared food for Amy and Rita quickly too.
Jane, you're not qualified as a housewife.
What? What are you talking about? Well, let's see what's on the menu. My husband and sister-in-law ordered steaks and the children's menu for Rita. I was planning to have a relaxing time alone with my daughter, but they interrupted us. And my sister-in-law said,
I want to have a parfait Sarah is eating too.
My husband said, I want to have dessert after dinner too. My husband ordered 2 parfaits, and my sister-in-law and niece ate one together. How much do you eat? I mean, you were eating pudding just before. That's why we came to a restaurant. I'm so full.
Me too. I'm getting sleepy.
Well, let's go home. Jane, take care of the bill. What? With that, my husband quickly left the restaurant. In the end, I had to pay for my sister-in-law's food out of our family budget. And since my husband ordered pricey dishes, the bill came to about $50. If only he hadn't brought his sister-in-law with him, we wouldn't have had such an expense. 2 weeks passed, and my sister-in-law showed no sign of leaving. My husband was so concerned about my sister-in-law and his niece that he wouldn't even talk to his own daughter. My daughter was very sad and asked me in tears,
Is Rita more important to Dad than me?
All I could do was to soothe her by saying, Rita is in trouble because she was kicked out of her own house, so your father is just being nice to her. I knew I couldn't go on like this, so I asked my husband to improve the situation. Sarah is very sad because you don't pay attention to her. I'm not saying you shouldn't be nice to Rita, but you should be nicer to Sarah. My husband gave me a bothered look and said, Okay. What's that look? Are you really that bothered to interact with your own daughter? Why do you have to be so annoying? I will talk to Sarah too. My husband said that, but it didn't help much. He mainly only took care of his niece, and he took care of Sarah in his spare time. And it had already been a month since my sister-in-law arrived. I asked my husband every other week or so when they were going to go back to their house. He just said, I can't say anything yet. My sister-in-law and niece were doing whatever they wanted, and no matter how much I cleaned the house got dirtier because of them. The rent of the apartment we live in now is cheap and the rooms are small. This is because we're saving money to build a house in the future. So when my sister-in-law and niece make a mess, the whole apartment gets dirty very quickly. Besides, originally there was one room each for me, my husband, and my daughter. But since my sister-in-law came, I've had to share a room with my daughter, and the room I was using is occupied by my sister-in-law. Just when I thought I was at the end of my patience, my husband made a shocking statement. From today on, we'll take care of my sister and my niece. We'll provide for their food, clothing, shelter, and everything else. Huh? What is he talking about? I mean, for the past month, my sister-in-law hasn't paid a penny for the house. Wait a minute. You didn't say we'd live with them all the time. Amy and her husband are divorced, so we have to help her and my niece. We're going to build a new house and start a new life as a family of 5. I didn't know what he meant anymore. Words came out of my mouth automatically. Okay, then I'm divorcing you. What? Divorce? Of course. I can't stay married to someone who puts his sister and niece before his wife and daughter. What? That's why you're divorcing me? That's just jealousy. Jealous? Don't make me laugh. I'm saying I want to leave because I can't stand living with those monsters any longer, and Rita and I won't be able to take it anymore. Don't insult my sister. I'm just telling you the truth. All they do is cost us money for nothing. It's like a big kid and a little kid hanging on to you. That's enough. Don't piss me off. I'll divorce you or whatever, and I won't be sad to see both of you go. Well, then I'm glad. Here you go. With that, I took the divorce papers out of the drawer and held them out to my husband. I had reached my limit and went to get them from the city office a few days before. He snatched it and filled out his own section, his face turning red. I took it, packed up my things, took my daughter, and went back to my parents' house. After that, we had a meeting with a lawyer to discuss the division of property. My husband even brought his sister to the meeting for some reason.
I thought I'll see with my own eyes how miserable you would be.
Normally, I would have been angry, but I didn't care anymore. I proceeded without hesitation. This is about what we've saved since we got married, so I guess we'll have to split 50-50. Oh, that's a lot of money.
Well, it's okay. I can cover this much with the money from the property division I split with my ex-husband.
Well, then, I'm glad. Okay, are we done here? Yes, I guess so. Well, then, Amy and I will build a new house and start a comfortable life together with my niece.
Jane, are you a single mom living in a shabby apartment? Poor you. Ha 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 ha.
I'll be staying at my parents' with my daughter for a while. By the way, you say you're going to build a new house. But what about the land? What? Oh, I knew you forgot. You're so off sometimes.
What? What are you talking about?
We initially talked about building a new house because my father said he would give us the land he owns. So now that we're divorced, the land won't be yours and you won't be able to build a new house. Well, unless you want to find and buy a land. With what you have now, you can only build a tiny shack. My husband's face turned blue and he fell silent.
Oh no! I didn't hear that, brother. I got divorced because you said we could live in a new house for free.
I'm not interested in the problem between you two, so I'll be going now. Bye.
Wait a minute.
I ignored my sister-in-law's voice calling me and left the place with my lawyer. The look of despair on my husband and sister-in-law's faces was even funny. I heard that my ex-husband continues to live in the apartment with my sister-in-law and niece after that. But with living expenses for 3 people and child support for my daughter, his saving is becoming less and less. Well, I heard that my sister-in-law's husband left her because she was a terrible spender. I'm sure she'll be eating up her brother's savings soon enough. My ex-husband contacted me to get back together, but I ignored him and blocked his calls. I also successfully got a new job and my parents are supporting me to take care of my daughter. I'm working hard as a single mother. My daughter is very attached to her grandparents who are very affectionate towards their grandchild. She doesn't seem to care about her father anymore. She has not asked to see him even once since the divorce. I will continue to watch her grow up and live happily with my family. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like. See you in the next video.